Most of you still aren't subscribed. What are you waiting for? Also, I'm doing a giveaway. Stay tuned for the end of the video to find out how you can win 700 gems in Storybook Brawl. Enjoy. What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and today we are going to be taking a look at an explosive game with Trophy Hunter. And Trophy Hunter's really strong on this patch. I brought it up in my patch notes when they moved Mummy down from 5 to 3, that was going to be a huge boon for Trophy Hunter. And we are going to be starting here with a Minotaur, and Minotaur's really good for most of the evil units, like this Black Cat that loses us this fight. It's really good for a lot of those evil units that you'll find, mainly Mummy, which I already mentioned, but also Black Cat in the early game, getting those just a little bit more likely to slay. Now, having said that, seeing a shop with a Sherwood Sure Shot and a Frog Prince, gonna have to pivot into that direction. Could have gone for the Eeny Meeny as well, and also could have held on to the Minotaur and resold the Sure Shot. So just like buy and sell Sure Shot, then cast Eeny Meeny and lock, especially because I'm considering locking here anyways. Probably should have just tried to lock on the or tried to cast the Eeny Meeny on the Lonely Prince. So we took like the immediate gain for it now. We're going to be casting the Eeny Meeny, but we could have potentially had like worse units in this shop. Now we wind up rolling the Eeny Meeny on something fine. We roll it onto an egg. So that is totally respectable. And we'll pick up this baby dragon here as well to round out the squad. But we've got a rather good start here, and by that I mean we're strong, but I also mean that we're playing a lot of good units, and Trophy Hunter will generally trend a little bit more in the evil direction, so that's definitely something to consider, obviously, with the Mummy. But then you also have Shadow Assassin, and then once you're playing some evil units, Shadow Assassin also kind of lends its way to playing Vampire, so that you can slay in the early game and build that up. And now we've got 3 evil units that we're looking for on Trophy Hunter, which means that something like Wicked Witch or Queen of Hearts also start looking pretty decent as well. We're going to win this combat, no problem. Don't even need the egg. The egg escapes unscathed. And now when I see an egg pair and a Sherwood Sure Shot pair, well, I'm pretty tempted to pick those up as well. Maybe we can find an early treasure off one of those two things, and that would be sweet. But mainly on level 3, we're looking for these Wretched Mummies. So I'm going to roll, and we're going to be locking this Wretched Mummy. And that is really going to be setting us up for doing some awesome Trophy Hunter things. Let's skip ahead a little bit and let's go back. So we are up against the Cursed King here, and Sherwood Sure Shot gonna be putting in some work, but my opponent kissed into a Juliet. So it seems unlikely that our eggs are gonna make it out of this one fully, but oh, actually, if I had reordered my eggs, we would have potentially, I guess we still would have cracked an egg. Maybe we would have been like 1 in 3 to crack an egg. So who knows? But we're gonna pick up this Mummy here, and then I don't really like anything else in this shop. So let's roll, and we find a second Mummy. There's also a Lucky in this shop, and Lucky is another unit that technically can slay. It does have a last breath, but you don't really want to concern yourself with that too much. We don't really need the economy. Just looking to make, a stronger board. Definitely want to play this baby dragon against Pup, because that way we could potentially take out one of their supports. So I'm probably going to wind up selling the Humpty Dumpty here. I do generally like selling Humpty Dumpty and find that it, like, you pick it up, you pay some coin for some health, which is what a health potion does effectively too. And then if I find the opportunity to sell off the Humpty Dumpty to purchase something else or shard it into something else, usually I will take up that offer. So Baby Dragon wins the 50-50 and does a lot of work for us here on this combat. That is going to make things a lot easier, and then Mummy is going to be able to trade with Spellweaver, and we win this battle. So that was really thanks to Baby Dragon doing a lot of work for us. And Wormroot is an absolutely fantastic spell on Trophy Hunter. Going to be snapping off that Wormroot on a Mummy, and now in this early game we'll also pick up the Shadow Assassin, which I mentioned earlier. But now, in this early game, if this Mummy is able to slay, we are basically going to be guaranteed to win the combat. And there's just so much power if the Mummy gets to take out an additional unit by slaying. It's already basically going to be a 2-for-1, but if it slays, then it gets to be a 3-for-1, and that is just value that most people will not be able to keep up with. We do have to do some awkward kind of ordering for our board here, because a lot of our units want to attack. Our ranged units want to attack, Baby Dragon wants to attack, and then even our mummies, which are typically really good in slot 4, as you see here, also want to attack because they want to slay. So it is tough to fit everything on this board as a trophy hunter. Might have had some more room if we had a Minotaur instead of one of these Sherwood Shore Shots. But at the same time, we wouldn't have, because we'd want to backline the Minotaur too, so it would still be tough. But yeah, really this combat is just going to come down to missing with the Baby Dragon there. But if we can hit with this Mummy, which looks like we can, then we also get to kill the Black Cat, and the Wicked Witch takes itself out by attacking, so we are going to be able to win this one. Now we're level 4, and Trophy Hunter is a really interesting hero. I mean, we're definitely going to pick up this Wretched Mummy. Actually, let me talk about this, because we get a Sting as one of our treasure options here, and Telltale Quiver looks like it's pretty good on our board because we've got 3 different ranged units. However, Sting is just so good on Trophy Hunter. It's going to guarantee that whatever is in slot 1 gets to slay as long as it attacks. And I already said that if our Mummy is able to slay, then we win the combat. So all of that together is looking pretty good. I also pick up this Riverwash Mermaid because we are going to be able to potentially grow our Mummy with it. There is also, once our Mummy grows a little bit, then we could put our Shadow Assassin in slot 1, and then it will be a 13 attack ranged unit, and that should be able to slay and also grow itself because it will have the Riverwash Mermaid slay attached. So those are definitely some things that I'm looking towards. I don't generally love Riverwash Mermaid on Trophy Hunter, but it was really good with the economy on this game. And one of the reasons that I don't love Riverwash Mermaid on Trophy Hunter, as I was just about to get into, Trophy Hunter really has a lot of unique evaluations on different units that make playing it feel very different to almost anything else. This combat, by the way, is super close, but we are able to get there, luckily. We actually, there was, I don't have the tracker up for this game, but we did get pretty lucky on that one. Getting to attack first also is pretty nice when you've got all of these units that want to attack. So there's what I was talking about there for a second. It's an idea. I might not want to do that just yet, but it's something to consider for the future. So there are other slay units that we can play. We could play Ogre Princess, we could play Chupacabra, we could play Vampire, but the main units that you want on Trophy Hunter, and the reason that I'm gaining experience, the main unit that you want is Baba Yaga. And so in order to get the most Baba Yagas, we're going to want to hit 5 as soon as we possibly can. And we're not going to find any just yet. We also don't find any Grim Souls, which is the other unit that we're looking for. Oh, by the way, now that we have 2 Shadow Assassins, I do like potentially throwing 1 in the Sting slot and keeping the Mummy in slot number 2. I think that this will work out well for us, but we shall see. But We're really looking for Grim Souls, and actually because we want Grim Souls so bad, it actually devalues our desire for units like Vampire. Brave Princess is fine, but Vampire is good if you're trying to like build this big slay board. But we don't want to have a bunch of slay units. We actually just want to have one or two. And typically those are going to be Mummy, Good Boy, and Friendly Spirit. And we're probably just going to stick to the few of those. I think we are going to lose this combat. Actually, we tie. So that's pretty incredible to be able to tie, stay at 39 health going into level 5 on a trophy hunter is pretty incredible. And we're already up on XP, and we're so far up in the lobby that I think I do take this trash can here. This is a questionable play. I don't actually think it's correct to take the trash can, and you see I do think about it for a while. It's kind of a hedge, right? Because if I want to find the Baba Yagas, if I want to find the Grim Souls, I should just be using my gold right now to roll and stay on 5. However, if I also potentially want to find good boys faster than everybody else, then maybe I should take this Turkish Delight and try to make something really, really powerful happen. So I go for a little bit of an interesting play here. I go for the Turkish Delight, and then I also just pick up the Baby Bear. And sorry about that, just a little camera issue there. But I also pick up the Baby Bear because we've got the Sting. And I'm not looking, I don't care about the fact that this Baby Bear is slaying. That's not what we're going for. We're just going for the fact that Sting on a Baby Bear lets us triple up on the Sting, which is pretty powerful. And Sting on Mummy also lets you triple up, right? Because you get the Mummy's increased attack, you get the Last Breath increased attack, and then you get the Slay's increased attack. So it's kind of a triple up. However, a lot of times that additional attack on the Last Breath is going to be kind of irrelevant. You saw that Mummy just traded 2 for 1, and it didn't need any additional stats. So that is basically what I'm talking about. We are going to finally take some damage here against the Headless Horseman, taking 6. But it would just be overkill on the Mummy. So the Mummy doesn't really need the Sting. But now we find some of those units that we've been talking about. We find the Grim Soul. We find the Baba Yaga. So we're really able to put some crazy stuff together here. There's also a Polywoggle, but this isn't, we're not looking to do Polywoggle stuff. We are looking to do some nice Grim Soul stuff with Trophy Hunter. So this is just about all we need. I don't think I'm considering the Polywoggle here. I think I'm considering what other unit I want to play in front of the Baba Yaga, and I imagine I will eventually land on just putting in my Shadow Assassin into slot 3. But yeah, okay, there we go. So this is a really good board. So Grimsoul gets to attack, and if Grimsoul doesn't slay, if Grimsoul just dies, then it will trigger 2 Mummy triggers, which hit for 22 each. If Grimsoul attacks and slays, it will then trigger Mummy 4 times and basically just wipe out my opponent's board. So, yeah, all of that's pretty incredible. The thing that we have to watch out for now, though, is... So yeah, there's the 2 Mummy triggers, and then we're going to get 2 more. Playing up against APOC on the turn where they hit 6, I think means we actually lose. This was a big power spike from APOC, and 3 XP APOC, because we had 2 XP. So good on them. They made some nice stuff work. So now we are on 6 as a Trophy Hunter, and Oni King is at least worth considering because everything that we're trying to slay with is a monster. So it is, yeah, definitely worth at least considering picking up. But I think we can do better because we are 6 so early. We could potentially find a good boy, and then we can really power spike. So there's a few things that I'm looking for right now. Good Boy, Friendly Spirit, Grim Soul, Baba Yaga. We'll pick up the triple on this Shadow Assassin. I'll also take the triple on this Sherwood Sure Shot, maybe find some boots. We find Dancing Sword, which I don't think is going to be good enough, so I'm going to skip the dancing sword. Basically, I just think that this 2 gold is worth more than +1 attack at this stage of the game. I mean, it could be the difference between slaying and not slaying, and that of course would be awkward, but I think that we're gonna do better off here just by spending my cash on rolling. So that is what I'm gonna go for. And right before I'm done rolling, I find this friendly spirit, so I guess we are rewarded in that regard. I can sell the Sherwood Sure Shot and put the friendly spirit in. So we had just enough cash to be able to make that happen. Could go for, or could put in the other Shadow Assassin here in place of the Frog Prince. I don't think it was a huge deal. I was mostly thinking about my other ordering. And this combat, we're going to break down. Because I know that Trophy Hunter games get a little bit wonky. Especially when you're in the game and you're playing them, you're like, or the first time you play against a trophy hunter, you're probably like, wait, what just happened? Why are all of these things happening? So we're going to break down this specific combat just a little bit by bit here and tell you exactly what's going on. So first things first, my Grim Soul attacks into their Grim Soul. So there's 3 triggers now that have to resolve. There is my Grim Soul's Slay, their Grim Soul's Last Breath ability, and then my Grim Soul's Last Breath ability. So the first thing that we're going to see is my Grim Soul, and that is going to trigger onto Friendly Spirit. That is going to happen twice because of Baba Yaga. One of those triggers is going to go onto Mummy. The second trigger is going to go onto the Frog Prince. Both of those triggers are going to pump up the Shadow Assassin, and then their Grim Soul is going to trigger. That's going to grow their Jormungand +20/+20, and then Grim Soul, my other one, on the other part of that sandwich, is going to trigger onto Mummy, and we can see that happening right now. Now, Mummy has 2 different Slay abilities, and the Mummy just itself is being supported by Baba Yaga as well. So we're going to see the Mummy get +2/+2 from the Riverwash Mermaid, and that's actually +1/+1 and +1/+1 from the Riverwash Mermaid. And then we're going to see it shoot out some Mummy missiles. And I believe these might actually be for 42 each. So let's take a look. Are those for 42? Yeah, so we shoot out some 42 missiles, and we wind up growing our Shadow Assassin in the process there. Then their Grim Soul is going to attack into our Friendly Spirit. Then our Mummy's going to connect. This is going to shoot 2 more missiles, 1 killing Jormungand, and then our Friendly Spirit will take out their Medusa. So there you go. That's basically what we're looking to do in these combats. If we get a Slay with our Grim Soul, things just get to go absolutely nuts. And I'm picking up Hercules here, one, because we're still in XP up on the rest of the lobby hitting 6, so I think that we have time to make Hercules work. But one of the best treasures on Trophy Hunter is Evil Eye. And that is a treasure that, at the time of recording, is a level 6 treasure that doubles your supports. And mainly, it's great because it doubles Baba Yaga. And Baba Yaga is a huge key to the Trophy Hunter comp, because if we double Baba Yaga, that means we're going to get an additional Slay from each of these Grim Soul triggers or each of these Slay triggers, whichever happens. So let's jump ahead into this combat and see how things get cracking for the Trophy Hunter. So let's see, are we going to get first attack? Well, first it looks like they had a Lightning Dragon, right? So Lightning Dragon is going to come over, kill Shadow Assassin, and then they've got another dragon, which is going to kill Friendly Spirit. That Friendly Spirit buff is going to go on to Grim Soul, which is great because that allows Grim Soul to slay here. So that means we're going to get 2 Mummy triggers that are both going to hit for 28 apiece. And let's see where they go. Oh, 30. Oh, right, because it's also growing with the Riverwash Mermaid. Then Mummy dies, gets to throw out another one. Herc is going to trade with the Wombats and then trade with Fanny, and we're halfway through a Herc, or two-fifths through a Herc as well. So all of that is looking quite fantastic. We get to pick up a Shadow Assassin here, and we get the Bad Moon treasure, I believe. So Bad Moon is a really insane treasure on Trophy Hunter. It's a little late, to be totally honest. It's a little bit late to pick that up here, but we'll still take it. So now every time we trigger a sleigh, we're also going to be growing our units with Bad Moon. And I make one other change here. I'll break this down briefly. Now, if the Grim Soul attacks and slays, we will be getting 3 Grim Soul triggers. If those triggers land onto the Mummy, then that means that we wind up getting 6 Mummy triggers. So all of that is really, really strong. It's kind of a hedge, and I'm not even sure if I wind up playing this exact configuration, because there's basically one thing to discern with this current Trophy Hunter build. Is, do I want to play something more all-in, or do I want to play a little more risk-averse? And the risk-averse play is putting the Baba Yaga so that it's supporting 2 different Last Breath units, because there are... I can probably let this play out, because I don't know if we pick up anything else. Actually, I feel like we pick up another Baba Yaga pretty quickly here, which would make this discussion pointless. I'm also considering the Oni King right now. That's kind of interesting. I go for Oni King? I don't remember doing that. Okay, I figured it was certainly possible. Okay, I do find the Baba Yaga, so I've got to sell something. Let's put this Baba Yaga in, and then we should probably put in... No, okay, I don't go for the Friendly Spirit. Oh, no, I do. Okay, great. So, yeah, I've got enough to do it all here. Sorry, I was a little bit confused on exactly what I do on this board, because there's a lot of options to play. And basically, the choice is, and I just want to break this down a little bit further, between being... Well, it doesn't really matter on this board, but it kind of does. So let's say I didn't play this Friendly Spirit. My Grim Soul's about to get attacked. If I didn't play this Friendly Spirit, then the Grim Soul would be the only Last Breath that I have that can trigger. Now, because I have the Friendly Spirit, some of these... I might have said Grim Soul, I meant to say Mummy. Because I have the Friendly Spirit, some of these Grim Souls might go on the Friendly Spirit, which means that we're not shooting as many Mummy missiles. And you look at my opponent's board, every single unit right now dies to a Mummy missile. Also, every Mummy missile will use the Bad Moon and grow our Mummy as well, though the same can be said for Friendly Spirit, and growing the Friendly Spirit can also be pretty strong. Oh no, they attack our Mummy. Okay, so they attacked our Mummy. I did not quite see where that Spellweaver was headed, but that means that it's absolutely great that we played Risk Averse here, because now we still have a Last Breath unit. So it's about, I mean, it's kind of Risk Averse reward, I suppose, but now all of these are going to go on the Friendly Spirit. One hits itself, which now means that Friendly Spirit gets to throw a bunch of buffs onto this Baba Yaga, and I don't think that this is going to be enough to win the combat, but it hopefully will be enough to not take too much damage. Yeah, we only wind up taking 7 damage from this combat, so not the worst thing in the world. And now, if we just hopefully get a little bit lucky, I mean, that was kind of playing Risk Averse, and we still lost. So that is like the downside of it too, is that but we potentially took less damage than we otherwise could have. So want to look for some more units here. I don't really love picking up another Friendly Spirit. I just don't want to waste my gold on it when I'd potentially really love to find Good Boy. I take a look at the Evil Twin, like maybe I could throw a copy on Hercules or something. Do want to get this Hercules treasure sooner rather than later too, because eventually it's just going to get really tough to pick this treasure up. But hopefully we can do something nice with that. Let's skip ahead to this combat since this shop is done. I'm like pausing a lot, but skipping ahead a lot too, so hopefully that keeps this video to a normal time length. I think it's going to go a little bit over regardless. But let's see. We turn their lance into a pig. They shrivel our... Yeah, I'm going to pause it again. They shrivel our friendly spirit, which totally cancels friendly spirit out, and then we slay with the Grim Soul. So this is what I was talking about. Now, we don't have a friendly spirit because, well, my opponent shriveled it, and they might have even shriveled it twice. Yeah, they must have done. So my opponent shriveled my friendly spirit twice or 3 times. They've got shrivel... No, they must have only done it once. I don't know. They've got... Oh, the shrivel was from the deck. So they only cast 1 shrivel. I'm like, they've got 4 plus Mimic Chest here. They can cast more spells than that. Anyways, a lot of complicated boards in this video. Grimsoul attacks, slays, dies. 2 slays, 1 death rattle. That's 3. They're all going on to the mummy. However, anytime mummy triggers a slay, it's actually triggering 3 slays. So now we are about to see 9 mummy missiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Juliet, 6, 7, Juliet. There we go. So, yeah, big explosion from my opponent. And, you know, I paused the battle, but it was also over so quick. So it almost didn't even matter that I stopped it to explain it. And I'm sure some of you guys appreciate that. Because, like I said, these trophy hunter games, when you are first starting out playing, and I'm realizing now from the comments that a lot of you guys are just kind of starting out and just kind of getting your feel for Storybook Brawl. So definitely want to break down this one for y'all because Trophy Hunter can be a little bit crazy. So not going to be changing anything on this combat. The only thing that's changed going into this one is we have a slightly bigger Grimsoul and a slightly bigger Mummy. And that is really it. And then, of course, we're going to be pigoing again, which is what we did last combat too. But this game is almost over. Unfortunately, we did so well in our last combat that we never even got to take a look at the Herc. I would love, like, my opponent to attack first into Hercules, and then I attack with Grimsoul and Slay and blow up their whole board. So that is that would be sweet. I'm considering cutting this friendly spirit at some point. Again, it's all about risk versus reward, what you feel like you need to do. This friendly spirit is kind of falling off at this point in the game. It's not that strong. And here my opponent pigos my Hercules, so that is pretty annoying. We're also going to get a lightning bolt on our Baba Yaga, which means this Grimsoul is only going to trigger twice. Once for its death rattle and once for its last breath and once for its slay. And then the first one is going to go on Mummy, so we're only going to see that happen twice right now. So 2 big missiles, that one of which is going to be negated by Soul Tack, and then we are going to see the friendly spirit trigger twice. Then Mummy gets to slay and get in there, and now all we have to do is deal with this Jormungand, but Mummy is more than enough to take out Jormungand, and we've got more than enough. Actually, we've got just enough to take out the Cursed King. So we take out the Cursed King here. Wormroot is still as good as it was on turn 3. At this point, I believe what I actually do is go for the Wormroot on the Grimsoul. And I'm also considering right now just taking this Rotten Applewood. I don't think I wind up going with the Rotten Applewood, but it's certainly at least worth considering. But Wormroot on the Grimsoul will just mean the Grimsoul is that much more likely to slay, which could be really good for us. Give that +3/+3, and now if that can slay, that'll be 3 triggers, which again is 9 Mummy missiles, which should be enough to win the combat. Anything else? What are we looking for here? well, another Grimsoul, that seems pretty good. And it's even good enough that it kind of makes me want to rework this board. I don't think this is perfect. And again, I probably should just play the Friendly Spirit here. I should probably just cut the Hercules. But 2 Grimsouls is really sweet. When either of these Grimsouls dies, that's going to be 3 Mummy Missiles if they can die and slay. Well, it's tricky because the Baba Yaga is no longer supporting that first Grimsoul anymore. So, tricky things to consider here. Good Boy is going to trade there, and that is going to allow me to fire off 3 Mummy Missiles, and we just barely miss that Echo Wood there by 1, which means that if we had picked up that treasure earlier, whatever it's called, +1 attack, if we had picked that up, small sword or whatever it's called, dagger, we would have been able to really win this combat. However, we're still going to be able to win this one. We've got a ton of Mummy Missiles. We've taken out their entire comp here, and that is going to be enough to hit my opponent for 15. So we've got one more game in order to finish this one off. And from here, just looking for a combat spell, but you know what? If Rootworm was good enough, then Burning Palm is probably good enough too. So I definitely consider this Burning Palm here. I'm pretty sure I go for it. Yeah, I go for Burning Palm. And now what are we looking for? I guess we're just looking for a Grimsoul or a Baba Yaga. Either of those would be pretty sweet. So we're going to take Baba Yaga, and now we've got the option to take Ambrosia. We can take Ninth Book of Merlin. We can take Tree of Life. None of these things are particularly exciting. I could probably just skip this, but I'm going to take Ambrosia. I think it's fine. Yeah, really, it's not anything too exciting, but I'll go for the Ambrosia here after a little bit of consideration. I'm thinking, like, are we Ambrosiaing this Mad Mim? How do we make use of that? Kind of a silly one. Oh, I just skip it. Oh, okay. Well, I know I wound up picking a donkey up, so I guess in order to do that, I have to roll and skip. Oh, wow. I could have really gone all in and just sold the Friendly Spirit and then played an upgraded Grimsoul, but I think that would have been a little bit risky if my opponent is able to attack first, which they are. The dragon could have wiped us out. So they're going to hit a Grimsoul. That is going to trigger 3 Mummy Missiles, and then I'm going to get in with my Grimsoul, which again, that is a stack of 3, so then we're going to fire out 9 Mummy Missiles, but we've already wiped out their entire field, so this is just going to finish the job and win the game for the Trophy Hunter. Hercules still treasure incomplete there, but that is going to be it for me today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one and you learned something here too with all of these Trophy Hunter shenanigans. I think this was a pretty good showing for Trophy Hunter. Maybe I should have put in that Friendly Spirit, though, just to be a little bit more risk-averse. That probably would have been a little bit smarter. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace. I'm going to be giving away a 700 gem bundle at the end of this month, and here's how you can enter for your chance to win. First things first, subscribe to this channel. That won't enter you into the raffle, but you will have to be subscribed to win. In order to enter into the raffle, all you have to do is comment on a Storybook Brawl video, including this one. Every time you comment on a Storybook Brawl video on my channel this month, you'll get a raffle ticket for my January giveaway. If you comment on a video within the first 72 hours of me posting it, then you get 2 raffle tickets, and if you comment on a video within the first 24 hours of me posting it, I'll give you 3 raffle tickets. Might also offer more ways to enter in the future. I don't want to break the economy of this. I want the main way to enter to be commenting, so leave a comment right now. Let me know what you think of the giveaway and of the video, and thanks for watching.